What's going on, everyone? So I have a super exciting video for today. One of the biggest requests that I've gotten on any of my videos, or in fact all of my videos, is we want to see you play against more players. And while that has been something that I also want to do, one of the only ways that we could do it was on Tabletop Simulator, as one of the few ways we could play Star Wars Unlimited online was Tabletop Simulator alongside Force Table, which, well, as many of you have seen, is AI only. Well, it hasn't really been that easy to get a bunch of games in. And Tabletop Simulator, while it is a great program and you can really get a lot of good games in, and one of the big things is finding people who are actually interested in getting the actual program, because it's not something that is free, and downloading the mods, interacting with it, it's a little bit more complicated than just loading up a Star Wars Unlimited game. However, about a week ago, we had a massive update coming out for Carabast, and this is a new browser-based program that allows you to play Star Wars Unlimited online with anyone who wants to participate really easily, because it handles all of the Star Wars Unlimited rules for you, unlike Tabletop Simulator, where you have to actually communicate with your opponent to determine what you are doing. This one forces you to actually use the program to complete game action, sort of like Magic Arena. For those of you that play Magic, although it's not quite Magic Arena, it is still by far the best program that we've gotten so far for Star Wars Unlimited. And I just want to run through a couple of games, have some fun, show some gameplay, and of course let you all know how to actually interact with this program if you're a little bit nervous about trying it out, whatever. I'll leave a link to it down below. And one of the big things that this is really exciting for is this is a really easy way to do some viewer games. If anyone's watching the videos, maybe I'll do some streams in the future and we can just jump on Carabas, do some viewer games, test out some decks live, and have some fun. But of course, any future video that I'm going to be doing on certain decks, or maybe even specific, just running through and having some fun on Carabas, might be in the future for the channel, which is really cool. So let me just show you first off how this works. One of the big things that you're going to need to do is have access to Star Wars Unlimited database. Now, if you watch any of my videos, I do all my deck lists here on this site, and you just have to click the deck link button. It's going to copy the link, and then you drop it into the deck link section. If you want to create a game, you just hit create game. You make sure you do the Premiere format, do a public game, private game. You can always invite whoever you want. It saves your favorite decks if you hit the save deck to favorites. As you can see, I've been playing with the Grand Inquisitor Force deck, the Leia Red combo, and the Vader Blue. We might swap over to Vader Blue here, which is a pretty meta deck, but we're going to try out the Leia Red combo for those of you that haven't seen this video. This is one that a lot of you asked to see some gameplay for, but essentially it's a pretty standard Leia Red list for the most part, with the exception of really two cards, and that R2D2 and Mace Windu, and then of course the namesake card, You're My Only Hope, where we're trying to essentially cheat out something like Ewing reinforcements 2 turns early, which hopefully we can do for us, or for you all. I can do for you all today. But as you can see on the left hand side, we have a bunch of games in progress, and then at the top you can see we can just join games. Now, some people name it and they're like, hey, casual play, whatever, or hey, here's the deck I'm playing, need reps on Boba, this guy's playing Boba, and we can just hit join game and then place our deck link here, or use one of your favorite decks if you've already saved it, and then just hit submit. And then sometimes someone's already joined the game, it'll refresh the lobby, we could try again, and then we enter the lobby where we could see your opponent's deck, and of course on the left hand side you could see people are rolling and such. And we hit ready and we join into the game, and this is what it looks like. You could see that on the right hand side we have the chat, so if you need to communicate with your opponent, you can chat with them. However, the game should guide you through the entirety of all Star Wars Unlimited rules. For example, it tells you if you want a mulligan. This is definitely a mulligan hand. We don't have any turn 1 plays, and then we can go ahead and start resourcing. Again, we literally just follow the prompts on screen. It is very easy to go ahead and follow through on everything here. We're going to resource the A-Wing. Being on the play, A-Wing is really bad for exactly that reason. If they play their A-Wing on turn 1, ours just dies for no reason. And so we really can't have that happening. So we're going to go ahead and play it on Battlefield Marine. And I'm just going to, talk through the games, give you all an idea on what's been going on, or what we're doing here. We're fighting Sabine here in this first matchup, which is honestly Can be a tricky matchup, especially for the combo deck, especially if you don't get the right pieces. They're going to already attack us for 5. We're going to go ahead and Wing Leader up our Battlefield Marine. And we're going to attack them for 5 here. But they get to cheat out an action and allow them to take initiative here. And I think that what we want to do is we actually want to go ahead and hit their base. They're going to hit us both for 1. We have Heroic Sacrifice K2, so we actually have some big power here, but they're going to take initiative. We have Sabine, Metal Ceremony here available. I think what we do is actually resource the Sabine, because I think K2 is going to be our play. If not, and if they trade, let's say they attack our Wing Leader with their A-Wing, which is something that they could very well do. We could be in a little bit of a spot here for sure. My guess is that they're not going to ECL anything out, because I don't think they have anything to really ECL out that's going to be really impressive. Oh, they're going to trade with my Battlefield Marine, aren't they? Yep. There goes Battlefield Marine, so a little bit unfortunate there. I think what we do here, because they're going to deploy Sabine here. Yeah, I think that we actually go ahead and play out a K2SO. I'm not going to attack their base with Wing Leader yet. If they would like to go ahead and kill my Wing Leader, that's totally fine. I am going to attack their base now, however. Looks like they got in some damage to our base. They're going to ping us. We're going to Metal Ceremony here, so that we can trade with their A-Wing. Now, so the way we did this is we played out the K2SO, because we knew that they wanted to attack, so that way, without the Metal Ceremony kind of knowledge that they had, they just immediately attack, not worry about their A-Wing dying. And now what we can do is kill their A-Wing, and also potentially kill their Fleet Lieutenant, because we are going to take initiative. Oh, I hit pass. Whoops, that was a mistake. So you don't want to do that actually at all if you are playing this program. Passing is not the same as taking initiative. You do have to take initiative at the bottom here, but that is already a mistake that we are making. We're gonna go ahead and resource that Battlefield Marine. And now they did Metal Ceremony here, which is a little bit sad, because that means that we cannot trade with their A-Wing, and I think we have to Heroic Sacrifice our K2 into their Sabine. We're gonna get to draw a card. We're going to deal 3 damage to them. We got the U-Wing reinforcements, which is not exactly what we want to see, for sure. They're going to Wing Leader. Ooh, yep, that's a pretty tricky one. We're going to General Dodonna here, and they're going to hit us for 6, which is pretty nasty, to be honest. But we can sneak this win out for sure. Are they going to kill off my Wing Leader? So we're going to deploy Leia. She has a 4/7. Oh, we're dead. They just take initiative here. If they want to kill us, we just take initiative. I did the math wrong in my head. They hit our base. So they hit us for... Oh, they Heroic Sacrificed. I see. They hit us for a lot here. How do we get out of this scenario? If we had to attack Tarkin Town, they would have done the same thing. How do we get out of this scenario? I think the only option we have is to take initiative. I don't really see us getting out of this scenario. I think what I should have done is attack their Wing Leader instead. And they're gonna Metal Ceremony as well. Yep, that's gonna be the game. But pretty sweet little program here. If we had attacked, supposedly if they Metal Ceremony, we could have potentially won, because we attacked with a lot of damage, right? This is 8 damage. So we missed out on essentially 8 damage last year, so they would have 20. And then if we get an attack in, we lose. But they just had to take initiative. It's not like something too crazy here. So we're just gonna attack in, hit in for 8, and yeah, we lost. Pretty sick draw for our opponents. I like it. The double Metal Ceremony. That Metal Ceremony on Sabine kind of changed the math for me, but yeah, pretty sweet. Really easy way to interact with the with the game here. And of course, I'm trying to think about too many things to say, so I'm misplaying a little bit. But let's go ahead and try out another game here. Let's play the Vader blue deck, as I mentioned. We have a few here. That's a Sabine. This guy's playing Krennic. We'll just go ahead and do maybe a control matchup, control mirror. We'll play the Vader blue against the Krennic green. Looks like that I won the die roll, so I get to go first. And we have pretty reasonable hand. I don't see a reason to mulligan this. I think I'm going to start off with a... it's either Inferno 4 or Death Star Stormtrooper. I think we actually start off with Death Star Stormtrooper because I think we're going to resource repair and open fire. I don't think those cards are very good in this matchup. But the reason why I want to start with Death Star Stormtrooper is because it hits in for more damage. And we are probably going to go Death Star Stormtrooper, ping, assuming they play a unit. If they don't, you don't want to ping your own unit. And then turn 2, we get to go Inferno 4, also ping, and that could actually kill off one of our opponent's units. I want to keep the Avenger and Count Dooku in hand because these matchups almost always go to the late game, and you really want Avenger in your hand, as it's one of the main ways to kind of close out the game. We're going to deploy a Death Star Stormtrooper here. Looks like they took initiative, so no ping. That's totally fine. Couple of good cards here. I think I might resource the Force Choke. I want to keep these 2 cards, and I Am Your Father is a pretty nice one a little bit later on in the game. They might ECL out a Super Laser Tech, to be honest. That is something that very, very frequently happens. Looks like they played Resupply, so we're going to go ahead and attack their base. And then they're going to take initiative. We're going to Inferno 4. And I will bottom this. I think I want to bottom the Super Laser Blast as well. And I actually will deal damage to my Inferno 4 to deal 1 damage to them. This extra point of toughness usually doesn't matter, so I don't really see a reason to not do that. Here's an Entrenched. Here's a System Patrol Craft. I think I'm going to resource the Entrenched here. That one's a little bit tricky one because Krennic does come down this turn, so we could have Entrenched Krennic, potentially get a lot of value there. Looks like they're going to ECL something out. Looks like it's a Gideon. Okay. Very cool, very cool. I'm going to go ahead and I Am Your Father, and I assume they're going to let me draw 3. Yep. And that allows me to kind of set up for the next turn. So we're going to get in for 2 because they're probably going to get in for 2 anyways. And then we get to go ahead and take initiative here. And now we have Make It Open. We have Vanquish. We have Double Power of the Dark Side. It's kind of absurd, to be honest. And now we can start really controlling the game. We have the Vigilance. I'm curious to see what they're going to do here. They could just smack us for a ton of damage. What I'm going to do is actually play Power of the Dark Side. My guess is that they're going to defeat their Krennic. Yep. And that's exactly what I wanted to happen. And the reason for that is if they don't kill my Inferno 4, next turn we can go Vigilance, kill their Gideon, heal a bunch. And that's going to be huge for us. And then they can't like ambush out a Darth Vader for a bunch of value at all. There's a Death Trooper. Yep. And now we get to go ahead and kill off their Gideon. We'll keep the repair in hand actually at this point. We will also keep a Make It Open. I think the thing we get rid of is Vanquish for now. Because we have the answer to it. So we're going to go ahead and defeat heal. So we get to defeat Gideon, heal up a bunch of damage. And that's the reason why I went with the Power of the Dark Side, because I had a feeling they were going to defeat their Krennic so that we can get the kill with the Vigilance. And now, they're going very aggro here. I imagine they're going to hit us for 2, so I'm going to hit them for 2. I don't think they're going to take initiative here. I'd be very surprised if they did. 5 resources is a lot to sit on, for sure. Yep, let's claim initiative here. And next we can go with Count Dooku, potentially. We could also go with another Vigilance. We have a lot of life total to work with. So I don't think that's really an issue. Let's go ahead and... Ooh, let's... So we could go Death Star Stormtrooper, ping, kill their Death Trooper if they don't trade. And then we have 5 resources left, so we could go Make an Opening plus Repair. And that kills a lot of their board. Or we can just get down the Count Dooku and defeat their Death Trooper. And I think that's going to be the highest upside play. Because we get the unit on the battlefield and we defeat their highest power attacker. So pretty nice there. Looks like they are going to Vigilance. I'm imagining they're going to mill. That's my guess. I feel like a lot of people go with that option in this matchup. Okay, they actually healed and defeated. We're gonna bottom this, and I think I'll bottom the takedown. In this matchup, I highly doubt that they're gonna be playing something that we can really take down that we couldn't deal with something else anyways. They're gonna get in for some damage, sure. Hit, yep. And then we are going to just, I think, resource this system patrol craft. We have the Vanquish in, which is quite nice. I'm a little bit worried that they're going to super laser blast if I were to deploy Vader. So I'm going to hold off on deploying Vader at the current moment. I'm going to get in for some damage. And I think we just go with repair here. I want to like stall out an action here and keep out as many resources as possible. We have Avenger for next turn, which is going to be really good. And I don't know. They could play an Avenger here, and if they do, we have Vanquish. If they don't have Avenger, they have a Reinforcement Walker. We could also Vanquish that. I think we're at a really, really good spot here. Because we could also, if we don't want to Vanquish and they play something big, we can make an opening, their Lieutenant, and then power the dark side. And then we could deploy Vader potentially. Or we can even deploy Vader, kill their Lieutenant, and then power the dark side, whatever they play. So there's a lot of different options here. I think our opponent's really thinking about this because we have the Vader deploy, which is huge for us. But on the note that I was talking about earlier, Carabas is just absolutely amazing here to really get in just so many games because of how easy it is to interact with, which is absolutely super, super fun to interact with. But let's go ahead and Vanquish, Stormtrooper, pass. And now, I mean, we have double Avenger in hand. I don't really see this going wrong at all. I think I'm going to resource to make an opening. I don't really need the heal. They could Super Laser Blast. Very possible they have Super Laser Blast. And if they do, I'm not too worried because we just drop an Avenger. And if they drop their Avenger, we drop another Avenger. So, kind of curious what they have. If they don't have a Super Laser Blast, there's a Super Laser Blast. Yep. We're going to drop an Avenger. And now we have double Vigilance in hand. So we might be on the mill plan now. Now that our life total isn't really under threat. If they power the dark side, yeah, that's totally fine. We're going to mill heal. We hit an Avenger. Looks like they got a lot of top end stuff here. They played a Consortium Star Viper. We are just going to claim initiative here. And there's the power of the dark side, which I really do like. So now we could deploy Avenger. We have Force Choke as backup. Yeah, we'll just hit him with another Avenger here. If they have another power of the dark side, that's fine. We're just gonna claim initiative here. So they have a Vader for a cell block guard. Okay. Not too bad, not too bad for our opponent. They have the answers for both of them. We drew quite well here. We get to go Emperor Palpatine. Deal 3, deal 3. And then we have Power of the Dark Side up and a Force Choke up. Very nice. So let's go 3 here, 3 here. I was a little bit loose with my Avengers, mainly because I felt like we were in a very good spot to be able to be loose with our Avengers. Because I think that this game's going to actually come down to milling out our opponent here. They have 15 cards in deck. We have Emperor Palpatine. We also have another Avenger in our deck. And I think that we're in a really, really nice spot here. I'm not going to resource anything this turn. We even have more threat on their base than they have on ours. And I think that we have a better late game. We got rid of a Reinforcement Walker, an Avenger, and a Vader. They can ambush my Palp, but I don't think that's a really nice play for them. We have another Vigilance here. We're not going to resource here to potentially mill, or we can just heal out again. They have a Vanquish. We're going to play an Inferno 4. We will bottom this. We're going to top the Super Laser Blast because now the only way we really lose is by getting overrun, essentially. Yep, let's just pass. We do double Super Laser Blast. Yeah, I mean, I don't really see us losing this game at all, and we could literally just control the board and mill them out here. Let's go ahead and heal mill, and now they're in 5 cards in deck, and we get to go ahead and Super Laser Blast. If they don't take initiative here, we're just gonna claim initiative here, and we will go ahead and resource assisted patrol craft. I might open fire their Scout Bike Pursuer. We literally just need to survive. We have all the removal in the world. We're going to claim initiative here. They have no hasty threats. They can't hit us. They can't ready up anything immediately. So that in order to win this game, they must deploy things in order to deal enough damage. Unless they have all removal spells in hand. In that case, then they're just losing. But they must go ahead and deploy more threats in order to deal enough damage. Otherwise, we're just going to kill them. And so the Super Laser Blasts kind of seal the deal for us. We can even bombing run, which I'm going to do immediately. We could also force choke, which I think is actually just better because we could start hitting them for more damage next turn. So we'll just force choke, and then they get to draw a card, and we are literally just going to claim initiative here. So they must deploy things. If not, they are just going to slowly die. Yep, there's an Avenger. That's fine. We're going to Super Laser Blast. And that's going to be the game because we have 2 Super Laser Blasts in hand. There's literally just no way they can do anything. So Vigilance came in handy. That's got to be the mill plan here. As I said, these control decks go a lot longer. They're a little bit less controlling than we are for sure. We're going to go ahead and resource this turn actually because we have the I Am Your Father. We're going to Super Laser Blast, and that's going to be pretty much the end of the game. Don't really see anything they can do. We also have a takedown and an I Am Your Father as backup. They literally have the 5 cards in hand that they have, and that's it for the rest of the game. And I imagine based on what they have here, they probably have another Avenger, potentially another Darth Vader, potentially another Reinforcement Walker. But yep, that's going to be the end of the game. Pretty nice. And yeah, that's going to be Carabas, guys. I know it was actually a longer video than I expected, but I just wanted to run through the program, play a couple of games here, and just show you how easy it is, right? Because the game kind of handles everything for you. And because of that, it's a lot easier for me to walk through because, of course, you know, trying to play as well as I can, as well as talk through the games, as well as explain exactly what I'm doing, especially in like tabletop simulator situations, which I've tried to do, but it always ends up a little bit poor, in my opinion, at least. It gets a little bit too much, but this one, since it prompts you, it walks you through every step. It's a lot easier to walk through. It's a lot easier to play and for everyone to follow along if you're watching, which I think is a lot more exciting. So let me know what you think. Also, let me know if you have been playing Karbast over the past few days. And again, in any of my future video, any deck techs especially, and perhaps even just running through a bunch of games here, we're going to be on Carabas here. And playing for sure. So super excited. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all for the next one.